Back in the distant year of 1934 in the scorching deserts of the Middle East, a steel colossus took on the relentless task of transporting dozens of passengers between the cities of Damascus and Baghdad. Without even a fixed route to follow, let alone any paved roads, this incredible bus routinely accomplished something that, even for today's powerful modern trucks, remains a tough challenge to beat. Stay with us and discover how two brothers from New Zealand not only made this feat possible, but also ensured a first-class journey for their passengers, even with air conditioning in the midst of a harsh desert. To understand this story, we first need to meet Norman and Gerald Nairn, two brothers born in Blenheim, New Zealand. Their father, a well-known doctor, was one of the first men in New Zealand to own a car in the early 1900s, and he was the main inspiration behind the brothers' passion for motor vehicles. When World War I broke out, both brothers enlisted in the army to fight on the British side, specifically in the Middle East. This experience allowed them to gain a deep understanding of the region's geography and unique challenges, something that would prove immensely useful later on. After the war ended and they returned to their homeland, they launched a business selling military vehicles in New Zealand, though unfortunately it didn't succeed. Combining these experiences, Norman and Gerald planned to return to the Middle East, but this time with the aim of establishing a commercial route originally proposed between Beirut, now in Lebanon, and Haifa in modern-day Israel. To accomplish this, they used the military vehicles they hadn't been able to sell back home, given how difficult it would have been for regular commercial vehicles to survive such extreme travel conditions. Upon arrival, they faced their first major obstacle: hostility from some of the small local transport operators working in the area. In order to avoid conflict, the New Zealanders decided to focus solely on transporting mail and special packages. Their hard work in the deserts of Western Asia earned them a significant opportunity in 1923, when the British consulate in Damascus asked them to organize a regular route to the city of Baghdad, Iraq. It's worth noting that at the time, both Syria and Lebanon were under French administration, while Iraq was controlled by Great Britain. This new challenge meant not only taking responsibility for a highly important route, but also overcoming an extremely difficult journey that involved crossing the Syrian desert. The distance between these cities was approximately 550 miles, or about 900 kilometers. Depending on the chosen route and the cargo being transported, these journeys could take several weeks to complete, especially when carrying complex loads, such as mail. This request came about because the plans to build a railway had been suspended, making it necessary to find a fast, viable, and effective alternative for transportation. After conducting a series of trials, completing at least 6 trips using various commercial vehicles from brands such as Buick, Oldsmobile, and Lancia, the brothers discovered that the Cadillac Type 63 was the best model for the task. In addition to being durable, it could deliver good speed without the risk of overheating. Their idea was so well received by the French authorities that they agreed to provide them with gold to pay the desert tribes, ensuring safe passage. By October 1923, under the name Nairn Transport Company, they formally began operations with a fleet of 6 Cadillac Type 63 vehicles. These were modified with large fuel tanks. Although there was also space for provisions, their speed, up to 68 miles per hour in the desert, allowed them to cut the travel time down to just 24 hours. By 1925, 5 more units had been added to the fleet, but it quickly became clear that larger vehicles were needed. The Nairn brothers decided to commission specially adapted buses from the American companies Six Wheel Company and ACF. These buses featured dual rear wheels and were powered by a 110 horsepower Continental engine. Despite weighing 7 tons and having the capacity to carry up to 14 passengers and 250 kilograms of luggage, their maximum speed reached was 55 miles per hour. 9 years later, the brothers decided to raise the stakes, impressing the public with a new bus designed to navigate the desert, aiming to offer it as an exclusive transportation service. This is how what was, at the time, the longest bus in the world was born. With an impressive total length of 25 meters, the vehicle consisted of a main truck manufactured by Marmon Harrington, featuring dual rear axles and powered by a diesel engine, producing nearly 200 horsepower. At the rear, a passenger cabin was added to accommodate up to 32 people, Divided into first and second class, and equipped with an array of comforts, including a luggage capacity of up to 3.2 tons. Onboard meals and drinks were also offered, thanks to a small kitchen fitted with a stove and both hot and cold running water. Thus, what had originally begun as a logistical route for transporting mail and special cargo evolved into an exclusive journey covering approximately 1,150 kilometers or 715 miles, passing through some of the most important cities in the Middle East. It's worth noting that the trip was made at a speed of no more than 80 kilometers per hour or 50 miles per hour. The bus itself became an unprecedented feat of engineering, with truly remarkable durability and the ability to offer unmatched comfort. On top of that, it was fully sealed to prevent any dust from entering the cabin, a vital feature for its desert crossing mission. This led to the introduction of 2 more buses in 1937, built under the same concept of luxury and exclusivity, but significantly improved in many aspects. These new units were custom-built, following the same principle of a truck with a passenger trailer. Unlike earlier models, these were constructed and adapted more locally, mainly by the Nairn mechanics. One of the most remarkable features was the implementation of an air conditioning system, which had been invented sometime earlier but had never before been installed in a vehicle of this kind. Although these new models were more compact, reducing the interior capacity to just 18 passengers, this change was made in favor of greater comfort and efficiency. Another highlight was the integration of a 150 horsepower Cummins engine, which helped reduce the travel time from 24 to just 18 hours. These truck-based buses were regularly serviced by Nairn's team of mechanics, which consisted of 85 employees at their official workshop headquarters in Damascus. While they remained in operation, some of these buses managed to cover over 3 million kilometers, proving a level of durability and resistance that was truly unmatched. Despite becoming one of the most popular and impressive transport services of the era, and even by today's standards, everything came to an end in 1958, when the route ceased to be operable due to the drastic political changes in the region. This also ultimately marked the end of the New Zealand Brothers business, as they sold their company in 1959. Curiously, the highway that now connects Baghdad with Damascus still follows almost exactly the same route that Nairn once used. Although this incredible story is becoming less well known over time, the legacy of the incredible and practically indestructible longest buses in the world, which offered an apparently impossible route through the desert, has become a legend well worth telling.